10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
Okay, so my why is purpose. And I know that may almost sound a bit cliche, but it's not. I mean, I would start by saying that the essence of any human being is the core of who we are is our spirit.
Yeah.
Okay? So we are spirit, not spiritual, we are spirit. We have a soul and we live in a physical body, but this is just a vehicle for us to get the job done whilst we're here on an assignment, right? And so we are spirit, but our spirit is hosted in our heart, because the soul, there are three compartments of the soul, and that's your heart, your mind, and your emotions. And so the heart is the part of the soul that hosts the spirit. So that's why every time God wants to deal with you, he deals with your heart, because that's where your spirit is. That's where your spirit is hosted in your soul.
So more or less like the heart is the house.
Yes, the house.
Is the spirit.
Yes, the spiritual part of your being.
So God visits. So if God wants to speak to you, he visits the house.
It has to be your heart. That is why it is with your heart that you believe, then you can confess with your mouth, and salvation is done. But it's the heart. It's the heart. It's the heart. And at the core of my heart is the desire to please God. My life's intention is to please God at every time that God will take a look at me, whether he sees the thoughts of my heart, hears the words of my mouth, or watches my actions. I want God to say, yeah, that's my son, in whom I'm well pleased. And because it's a transparent experience, I can't hide the thoughts of my heart from God. I can't hide it in darkness. It doesn't matter whether there's physical light or no light. I can't hide the thoughts of my heart. So I've constantly got to keep checking to say, what I'm doing now, is it pleasing him? So because my guide is to please God, my authenticity can only be measured in relation to him. Because it doesn't matter what anybody else is saying. If God knows that what you are saying and what you are thinking are different, there's problem.
Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand. You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1. You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
Hi, Personal Branding Summit PBS 2022 is here, and it's all about building a global brand and personal branding. My name is AY with the double O, and we're out on the streets of Lagos to find out from Nigerians what they think about personal branding and building a global brand. Stay with us and let's get right into it.
I would say a brand is, you can say a brand is a person, a product. A country can be a brand too. So a brand is basically something that is popular and worldwide accepted.
10 customers in 10 countries. So because I'm just getting the feedback from different people from all around the world. So, getting the ideas from other people that you have not really related with before.
The thing is that me having 10 customers in 10 countries, eventually I'll get more than the 1,000 customers I have in Nigeria, because that means it's global. Once the thing leaves short, then obviously it's already global. So,
okay, I prefer having a business in Nigeria and sell to other 10 countries in the world. That's because the locations also matters, and if I'm making money in South Africa, that means I'll be limited to my financing will be limited to South Africa. But based on on differences in currencies, I'll be able to make more selling from Nigeria and selling to other 10 countries, 10 notable countries in the world.
I would like to have 10,000 customers all over the world, because I have to move my markets externally. Why will I be a localized person? I have to move forward now. I can't just be here.
I would prefer to go global. That is, start in Nigeria and go worldwide. I think that is when you can say a brand is a brand. That's when you can say a brand is a brand.
You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
Obviously, now which kind of question with that one? The brand is the fact that the rice is jollof. It's not just rice. Like the way you prepare it, you can't just put rice on fire and you get jollof. Yes, I would say it's a global brand. Yeah, because I believe the Oyinbos still enjoy jollof rice, while we Africans still enjoy jollof rice. So I believe it's a global brand.
Being a global brand is being accepted worldwide. Like Cristiano Ronaldo is known worldwide. He's a brand on his own. He has recently had 400 million followers on social media. So he's a brand.
I would say a global brand is basically an identity that sells to everyone, everywhere in the world, that goes around the globe. There are no restrictions and no limitations. They are well accepted in every part of the world.
There you have it. We've heard from people on the streets. It's time to get back to the studio where we have our speakers enlighten us on personal branding.
You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
And you are welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. Welcome to day 2 of Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. I remain Emeka Ebeniro, your host and convener of this amazing and epic summit. Yesterday was truly, truly amazing. We've gotten so much feedback from so many people around the world, and I am truly glad. As you can see, I'm excited. Words even fail me. I'm truly glad at how yesterday turned out. In case you missed it, not to worry, you can go back and watch the replay on our YouTube channel. But one thing you need to know is we had 3 amazing speakers. We had the godfather of branding himself, Mr. Charles Otudo. We had yesterday the multidisciplinary creative entrepreneur, Onye Ubanotu, and of course, we had the etiquette queen herself, Rennie Q. Boateng from Ghana. Yesterday was all about building global relevance as a brand. What does your image say about it? What is it about your story and how you can be authentic in telling that story? Also, we also learned about how we can create the right team, understand our true identity so that we can influence people around the world. Also, Rennie Q also mentioned that once you have the internet, you are truly global, and that is very true. With the help of the internet, and like you know, this is the 100% virtual conference, you are global and you can connect with people around the world. Today is going to be even better because we have 3 amazing speakers, guys. 3 amazing speakers. I'm super excited. Yes, we have the one and only Bizzle Osikoya. entertainment foremost middleman, who is currently joining us from the United States in America, where he has been able to do so many amazing projects, just like the Fireboy concert that just happened. Also, we have Lizete Mangueleze joining us all the way from Mozambique, guys. These two amazing speakers will be sharing with us other ways, tips, and strategies on how to build a global brand. I know you're excited, and we also have one more speaker. Yes, it is I, yours truly. I will be sharing with you how you can truly build that global brand from where you are. What do you have that you do not want to miss? Yes, once again, this is Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding, and I remain your host and convener, Emeka Ebeniro, your personal branding and transformation specialist. Once, twice, and a million times, I welcome you to day 2 of the Personal Branding Summit, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. We'll be back after this short break.
What does it feel to have a comfortable space? Come, I'll show you.
You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand. Bizzle Osikoya, Abiodun Bizzle Osikoya, Afrobeat's most connected middleman, is a Nigerian artist and repertoire A&R expert, talent developer, music and diversion specialist, and an advanced advertiser. Bizzle is the co-founder of The Plug Entertainment, a Nigerian-driven management organization celebrated for being the mind behind Maven Records and Davido Music worldwide. Bizzle had his primary and secondary school education in Lagos, Nigeria, before moving to England, where he studied music business. Bizzle Osikoya has worked with notable names like Nato C, Ike Chukwu, Oxlade, Dr. Sid, Wande Cole, D-Banj, Solar Plexus, Ricardo Banks, B.O.J., Budge, Ajebota 22, and countless number of artists. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Bizzle Osikoya. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
In the Personal Branding Summit 2022, and yes, we have Bizzle at the backstage. So Bizzle will be joining us shortly. I hope you guys are excited as much as I am. Yes, we have some time difference. Bizzle is some time backwards, which is he's in the morning, is around 9 a.m. in the US, and right here in Nigeria, this is after 7. So Bizzle will be joining us shortly. So I hope, are you there? I need to see those fire emojis. I need to see those comments, guys. Let's encourage Bizzle as he joins.
You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand. You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
What does it feel to have a comfortable space? Come, I'll show you.
You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
Yes, welcome back from that short break. You're still watching Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding, and I still remain your host, Emeka Ebeniro. Before we went on that short break, we just introduced Bizzle Osikoya, Africa's foremost entertainment middleman, who is currently in the United States, and he'll be joining us shortly. But before we call Bizzle up on stage, I'll hear from you. Where are you joining us from? Put that in the comments. Did you miss day one? Let us know. And also, are you truly ready to transform your brand for the global stage? If this is you, then you need to be part of our masterclass. Yes, we're having a masterclass after this conference where we're going to be teaching you and hand-holding you on how you can build a global brand, showing you the steps that you need to take to develop and ensure that your brand is a global brand. I know you're excited. So why don't you join us in the Telegram group where you have all this information and much more. Also, not to forget that Mr. Charles Otudo, who gave out his ebook and some other materials, that will be shared in the Telegram group. And also don't forget that Rene Q Boateng is having an event in March. So these and much more will be shared in the Telegram group. Make sure you join so you don't miss out on anything. So guys, we'll be going on a short break. When we come back, our entertainment guru and foremost middleman will be joining us on stage. We'll be back after this short break.
You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand. Bizzle Osikoya, Abiodun Bizzle Osikoya, Afrobeat's most connected middleman, is a Nigerian artist and repertoire A&R expert, talent developer, music and diversion specialist, and an advanced advertiser. Bizzle is the co-founder of The Plug Entertainment, a Nigerian-driven management organization celebrated for being the mind behind Maven Records and Davido Music worldwide. Bizzle had his primary and secondary school education in Lagos, Nigeria, before moving to England, where he studied music business. Bizzle Osikoya has worked with notable names like Nato C, Ike Chukwu, Oxlade, Dr. Sid, Wande Cole, D-Banj, Solar Plexus, Ricardo Banks, B.O.J., Budge, Ajebota 22, and countless number of artists. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Bizzle Osikoya. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. Yes. We're trying to get Bizzle to join us, but before Bizzle joins us, I'll be sharing a few things from yesterday and also touching a little bit about what I'll be sharing today. And as we do that, we also know that we also have Lizete Mangueleze. Yes, she is backstage and she will be joining us as well. Lizete will be tuning in all the way from Mozambique, and Lizete will be sharing with us how you can leverage the C-suite professionals, how you can use your brand to connect and leverage relationship and network with C-suite professionals across the globe. I'm sure that's something that you do not want to miss, guys. You do not want to miss that, guys, because it is important that as you build your global brand, you need to be able to connect with C-suite professionals across the world, people that work in Apple, in Samsung, in Amazon, and the list goes on and on and on. And the truth is, you do not have to leave your current location. No, you don't have to do that. This is a global world that has been powered by the internet. So where you are right now, you can connect with such top level management people and use that to your advantage. So guys, yes, you're still watching the Personal Branding Summit. My name remains Emeka Ebeniro, the Personal Branding and Transformation Specialist. So while we wait for Bizzle to join us, I'll be sharing quickly on how you can build, looking at all the things that were shared yesterday, how can you build a global brand? Yes, how you can build a global brand. And one thing I've learned from my own experience and in life is a lot of us are afraid, and I don't know why that is. And you hear things like, I don't want people to start asking me questions. And for some of us, you even hear things like, people will start sending me bill and they ask me like, oh, you've made it because we see you everywhere. So in other words, I'm going to send you my account details and so that you can support me. Yes, before I continue, I see that Lizete is here. So Lizete, are you ready for us? Oh, yes. Lizete, welcome. Woo! It's good to have you in the house.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, thank
From
you so much.
Mozambique to speak to Nigeria.
Yes, from Mozambique to Nigeria. Yes, that is so true. Thank you so much, Lizette, for joining us. And Lizette, before you joined, I was sharing, how people can build their personal brand. And I realized that in my journey as helping people build brands, one of the limitations that I've seen that people have is that fear of showing up. They're afraid to show up because they're like, you know what? I don't want anybody to, people start judging me and people begin to look at me like, whoa, you've blown. You're now very big. You're this international superstar just by showing up regularly. Lizette, what do you have to say about this? What do you think people can do? Those that are afraid to show up, that afraid to, shine and show their uniqueness. What do you have to say to them?
Personal brand, it's not about visibility. It's about being authentic, know yourself, and contribute to the world. First, to your community for sure, to your country, and to the world. So the first thing must be done is to know yourself. Know very well and understand your identity. From there, you will understand what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what do you need to work on, and you will find out what are really your superpower related to communication. And then you will choose the best option for you. If for you it's better to communicate using email, just go for it. Start from there. If you think that writing articles is the best, it suits you, go for that. What you can't do is to stop to show your uniqueness because you are afraid of showing up.
So you're saying that people should stick to what is the best form of expression. So if it's writing, if it's speaking, if it's visual, they should stick to their best form of expression. I love the way you put that. What would you also say? How can they stand out? Because I think that's one area that a lot of people want to know. Like, okay, yes, I do this, and I know there's so many other people around the world that do the same thing. How can I stand out, from the crowd? How can I differentiate in myself and all that? What do you have to say about that?
I do believe that everyone is unique. So we should make an effort to understand what are our uniqueness. We are personal brand strategists, but we work in different ways because we have different backgrounds. And normally what makes us unique, it's related to our upcoming, it's related to our background, to our history. So we should look at that and see how we can use our own personal story to stand out in the world. For sure, we need to know to do our job. That's fact. You can't be a global brand if you are not good in what you do. So you need to be clear about how you want to be perceived in the world and what talents can help you to stand out in the crowd. Because you can be, for example, you can be accounts, and you can have your colleagues who are also accounts. But when we go back to your history, we find your uniqueness. It's where we learn about how you grew up and what are your social and what are your social and behavior skills that you can use for yourself to stand out in the world. We can be doing the same work, but the way how we deliver the work will make difference. The way how we communicate and deal with our customers, it will be the thing that will differentiate us from our colleagues. So that is the first point. The second point is we need to know where we are playing. Where are we doing our work? Who are our, it's like we need to understand in which market we are. Who are the audience? With that information, we can start to create our own strategy. I like to see personal branding has a four step. Personal branding has a four step as a first step. I lost you again.
I'm here. I love the way you said you like to see personal branding as a first step. You were saying that. Just please go ahead.
Yes, so we do have we must use those four steps to branding ourselves. So
Okay.
we have a discover, which is related to our identity, who we are, what we have to share with the world, what do we do better, and how we do it that can help us to differentiate. And then the second step is visibility. We just need to remember that visibility comes after identity, after knowing what we'll be sharing with the world,
Okay.
after having our personal statement, after clarifying what our strength that can help us to stand out. And then we come to the visibility, which is related to communication, to strategy. And after, first we know our brand, we discover our brand, and then we create a strategy. The third thing that we do is to expand our brand so it can become global brand.
Awesome.
Then we talk networking. Yes.
Okay. Before you go, and I see that you're already going deep into it. So we're going to go on a short break, and when we come back, I know you have a presentation you want to share with us. We'll be going right into it so that you can share more about what you have for us in terms of connecting with top executive management and also all these hacks that you're giving us. So we'll be going on this short break. When we come back, we'll have Lizete go deep into her presentation. We'll be back after this short break.
You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022. Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand. Lizete Mangueleze. Lizete is a communication, branding strategist, and anthropologist. She is a pioneer in personal branding in Mozambique and has over 14 years experience in the field of communication and strategic marketing. She has a degree in anthropology and a degree in communication and marketing. She holds an international certification in executive personal branding, employer branding, and digital branding strategies in Brazil and the United States, respectively. In personal branding consulting, Lizete develops strategic plans to boost personal brands of CEOs, top executive, entrepreneurs, leaders, career professionals, and freelancers to leverage their careers and businesses using marketing and digital branding strategies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Lizete Mangueleze. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
Oh, Lizete Mangueleze, you are welcome. Sorry about that. I know that I put you on the spot earlier, but right now we are ready for you. Welcome to Personal Branding Summit 2022. I know you have a lot to share because I've followed you, I've followed your progress, and I see the amazing things you are doing in Mozambique and pioneering the personal branding scene in Mozambique. We said to ourselves, this is Africa's #1 global summit. We need to get the powerhouse from Mozambique to be part of this summit, and we are glad to have you here. So Lizete, once again, welcome to the Personal Branding Summit 2022.
Thank you. What a phenomenal presentation about me. that intro is phenomenal. I love it. So let me share my presentation and we start from there.
Yes, please go ahead. Share your presentation. We are looking forward to all the insights that you're going to share with us today.
Can you see it? Do you see my presentation?
It's coming up. It's coming up. It will soon be up any minute from now.
So today we'll be talking about how to connect and engage with C-level professionals.
Yes, we can see your slide.
Still not? Okay.
Yes. All right.
So, that's awesome. So as I was saying, when we talk about personal brands, we need to use those 3 pillars that can help us to understand and discover our brand that later will be shown to the world. So the first thing that we need to concentrate on is our identity, who we are. What can we share with the world? What do we do? How do we do our work? What's our story, our background? What's our mission in the world? Those are the basic questions that we need to ask ourselves before we go global. Because when we go global, before we understand who we are and what we'll be sharing to the world, we'll be focused on visibility, not on giving value to the world. So we have those 3 pillars that help us a lot to understand what we can be doing in the world. The first one is identity for sure. The second one is our image. When we talk about image, we are talking about communication. We're talking about behaving. We have 2 kinds of image. The projected image, the one that we prepare. Like as you see me now, this is my projected image. I prepared for this event. And we have the perceived image. When I dress it, I have an intention in mind, but we don't know if you perceive what I wanted you to do. So we should always have in mind that we have the projected image and the perceived image. And the third pillar of personal brand is reputation, our good name, what people say about us when we are not in the room, what our customers and colleagues say about us. That becomes our reputation. And as we know, the reputation is more valuable. Our name is more valuable than money. Good connections relate to good name. They can open us doors that the money it can't open. To be a global personal brand, we need to market ourselves using the same name in different countries, owning our identity. So the point is that we have to showcase our personality, our abilities, and help people, because that is the point of doing personal branding, is to share with the world what we can do as a professional and create a phenomenal reputation that can help us to enhance our career and our business. So the first thing we must think when we think about being a global brand is to be visible, is to be on internet, is to be on digital, because that is the only way nowadays that can help us to be worldwide. The first thing we should ask ourselves before we go there, before we become global, we should ask ourselves, are we ready for that? Because as we know, great brands don't just show up, they stand out. So how do we stand out? Are we ready to be bold and do different things and be innovative on our approach so we can stand out? Those are the first questions that we should ask ourselves before we go global. So we can stick to those 4 pillars that can help us to brand ourselves successfully worldwide. The first one is to invest in self-knowledge. We should understand very well our identity and own it, proudly own our identity, accept our strength and weakness, and make a plan to improve the weakness that we think that they can become a problem for us, and use our strengths. We must be very clear about our values, because those ones, they will drive our behaviors. We must also be very clear about our vision. What do we dream about? What kind of world we want to see? What change we want to make in this world? And we must define a very clear goals, because going global without clear goals can be dangerous for your reputation. The second point that we must look very close is visibility, which is related to marketing ourselves. The channels that we'll be using, the tools that we'll choose to brand ourselves. We must define also the tone of the voice that we use to communicate. How we'll show up? Boldly? We'll be a creative people? We'll use formal language? Or we'll be an easygoing person? So we must decide that before we start networking, before we start to go global, because on networking, it's where we have an opportunity to expand our influence, to expand our brand, and then we become global. And the fourth pillar that we need to focus on also is management. We must be aware that not everything will go smoothly as we want. Sometimes something can happen. So we must know we must be clear about our metrics, about our KPIs that we'll use to measure our efforts. Because to manage our brand globally, we must have clear goals, and also we must know what means success for us. And then we must measure. So we'll know when we get there. Let's remember that reputation precedes money. So more than being visible, it's important to build very good reputation because it will help you to go global confidently and to show up in a better way in the world. It will help you to open doors that the money can't open for you. One word that is important when we talk about going global, when you talk about personal branding, we are talking about relationship. We are talking about meeting people globally and offer service globally also. So be aware that you need to show your strength, to be authentic in our communication, because business, it's done by people for people. So we need to communicate as a human being. Forget about being too formal, being true to yourself, and connect emotionally with your audience, because that is what helps you to do business globally. If people look at you and you seem as a robot when you speak, or they have doubts about you, they will not connect. We all know that people first buy us before buying our service. So we must connect with people in emotional level to open the door for them to connect to us and be able to buy our products and service. So how the big question is, okay, now I know that I must focus on the 4 pillars to do a personal branding globally. So how do I connect to people? The first thing, we must find a way to connect to people based on common interests. And that it's an open door for us to connect with the C-level professionals. Sometimes people ask me, I don't know him. He's the CEO of that company. How can I connect to him? Should I send a letter? Should I send him an email? Should I call him? And my answer normally is, he's a busy person. Probably if you send an email, it will take a week to answer, or he won't answer. The best way to connect with people is to find a common interest, find a common ground, find similar beliefs that can help you to connect with them. Can be, for example, find out what kind of activities he does or she does, what kind of place he used to go. So based on those informations, based on that information, you can start to create your plan. Because to go global, we must have an action plan. We must be clear about our objectives, our goals, but we must also have a plan. Because without a plan, we can fail. I like to use Richard Branson as a good example of how we collect information, how we collect data that can help us to understand how to connect to that global personal brand. He is a very good example. I find him phenomenal because he shares a lot of information about his work for sure, but also he gives us clues about what he lacks what he does. So that helps us to understand how we can connect to him, in which areas we can connect. For example, looking straight to what he shares in his LinkedIn. And let's remember that it's a global brand and it's a top voice in LinkedIn, which means it's a very influential person. He has influence globally. And it's someone who is always sharing his perspective, being authentic. He shares insight authentically. When we look at this, we can clearly see that Richard Branson is someone who likes reading. So, for example, if I really want to connect to him, to be visible, I can join his club, his book club. I can comment. I can do comments. I can make comments online in his posts. That helps me to become visible for him. Because let's remember that when we want to connect to someone, we normally need to find a way to connect and not look as we are interested in what he has to offer. We must always find something to give before we get what we want. So we should do our homework. That is the rule. Do our homework to understand what are the common interests that you can use to connect to that person. And I like to say that we have many opportunities to connect to the C-levels, because our people who are available in many different platforms. Let me share some platforms that we can connect with global brands. We can create a strategy to meet those people in clubs, like a Rotary Club, like Toastmaster. We can create strategy to connect with them in a professional clubs. Now that I'm speaking, I remember a history of a colleague of mine from Brazil who told us that he took 6 months to have a meeting with a CEO of one of the biggest companies in Brazil. And he started sending emails and sending letters, and they were always telling him, he's not available, try again, try again, try again. And then he joined a gym.
You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
Well, I can see if I'm live again, but I was telling you this story about my colleague from Brazil who took 6 months to meet a CEO, and he tried hard, sending letters, sending emails, going to the place to try to talk with the CEO, and he didn't succeed. And one day he was at the gym. He applied for a tour. They were doing a bicycle tour in his gym, and they did the first round during 1 hour, and then they stopped to have a conversation and rest a bit. And coincidentally, he joined a group where the CEO of that company works. So when they introducing themselves, the guy said his name. I would just say a name, not his real name. So he said that I am Antonio. I am a CEO of a VT company. And he said, what? He said, yes, I am the CEO of that company. And my colleague, who was trying hard to meet that CEO for 6 months, he starts to say, I was trying to contact you because we have a project to work with the CEO, and I tried. I sent an email, I sent letters, I went to your office, and I didn't succeed. He said, no, I didn't receive your, I didn't see your email. Do you mind if we have a meeting on Monday? So he took 6 months in less than 5 minutes. He got the meeting that he was looking for a 6 month. So I believe that one of the best strategies to connect with people is to find common interests, similar beliefs. Because when we join clubs because we believe in what that club believe. And everyone who joins, for example, someone who decides to go to the gym, he goes to the gym because he believes that it's important to remain healthy. He believes that it's important to exercise. So when we meet people in those kind of places, we lower our doubts. When we are there, we see our fellows. That's why in Toastmasters, for example, people say our fellow Toastmasters. And then by lowering those distance, by lowering those doubts, we are going one step further to meet the people we want to connect with. Another example that I find that example real fascinating because sometimes we say that, no, I can't go to a golf club because I don't know how to play golf. So it's better to wait until I be confident and go there. I have that story about a lawyer who decided to join a golf club, and on that time was difficult for him to play, and he was he was shy to learn to play in the same time that others they were playing. He said, no, I can't do that with people watching me. So he decides to use different strategy. He was the greeter. He was the person who always was in the door to receive the people who were getting in the club. He was always the one that is always with very good smile, was always smiling, raising his hands. And then one day he was having conversation. They have a bride, and he decided to go to take over the bride. He was preparing the bride. He was there. So they were playing golf and going there to eat and going back. And one of the players decided to stop and talk to him. And he asked, what do you do? And why are you here? You were not playing. And he said, I like cooking, so I'm enjoying to do what I'm doing here. And that he was a CEO of a big company, and that CEO asked him what he does. You know, I'm a lawyer, and they exchange business cards. Later on, they have another event in that golf club, and one of the players was looking for a lawyer, and he was talking with the other player, and that he reminds, oh yes, I knew Celso who can help us with that. He got his first business inside the golf club without knowing playing golf. So I believe that trying to find clubs, preparing ourselves to be open, to risk, to be bold, is the best way to connect with global brands. I also believe that as a personal brand, we already have a network we must use this network that we already own to connect to different people that can help us to reach the C-level people that we want to connect, that we don't know him. It's easy for people to listen to us when we are recommended by someone that they know. Another ways that we can use for sure to connect with people is writing articles. We can write articles on LinkedIn. We can hold a show. We can interview C-level people. When we interview people, it's a really great way to connect with them because we have a chance to know them better. And after knowing them, we can continue the conversation after the interview, and we can have an opportunity to talk to them about our business. We can talk to them about the things that concern us, and they can help us to succeed. I would like to recommend, I think that you can ask questions and I will answer. I would like to recommend this book that helped us a lot about networking. And let's remember that the currency of real networking is not greed, but generosity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Lizette. Thank you for that powerful session. You've spoken a lot on how we can network and how we can connect with C-suite professionals. You suggested that we should network, and we're not just networking, that we should look for common grounds and common interest. One of our mentors right here in Nigeria, Nia Desoya, calls it EBA, which is investing in people's emotional bank account. And I love the way you put it. Once you get that common ground with that person, why don't you use that as an opportunity to get to know them? You've also shared about human-to-human connection or human-to-human selling, that we're not selling or buying from robots, but we're selling and buying from human beings just like ourselves. Thank you so much. Now, my question to you is, you've said so much. Now, if the person has plans to expand into another market, for example, the same way I connected with you via LinkedIn, I'm in Nigeria, you're in Mozambique, or you're trying to penetrate into another market, what other tips will you give that person looking at people that would like to penetrate into other markets beyond theirs?
The first thing is to take care to your digital presence, because that is the tool that helps you to go global. Do everything you can to look professional and be professional when you are online. Use the power that you already have offline to go online and connect to people who are in your country and people who are not in your country. Try to find the players of your market, connect to them, comment, share, and be heard. Share your perspective, because it's what will help you to connect to people. It's your perspective. Emeka said here that he first saw me, we connect on LinkedIn, and he knew me on LinkedIn. He saw my LinkedIn and said, okay, Lizette probably can share some insights about personal brand. So if we allow ourselves to be authentically vulnerable, to share our thoughts, we can get the opportunity to expand our network and connect with people globally. Another thing that we do when we want to go global is to find someone that can help us. Someone who can help us to create a strategy, a powerful strategy for networking, or to find someone that can help us to connect with people who are far from us.
That's
so
powerful.
digital tools for personal brand. Your email is a tool. It's a powerful tool that you can use. Your signature, it's a weapon for you to spread the word in the world. You can use social media, help us a lot. And don't forget that social media, it's not owned by you. So create your own website that will help you to take your message to the world independently of having problem on social media. Also use your Zoom. It's a great opportunity for you to be known. Every time you go to a webinar, try hard to speak, to talk, raise your hand and say something. Well, say something useful that not it will not make you like a fool, but always try to find a way to stand out when you go to a meeting. Nowadays, it's easy to attend conference, to attend webinars, to attend Zoom meeting, relate to your field or the field that you are interested on. We can also use that as a very powerful tool to connect to the people that you want to connect to them. Because, for example, if you know that the CEO of a company that you would like to do business with, it's a speaker in an event, sign up and go there. Watch them speaking, connect to him, talk, comment, because we must remember and have in mind that the first thing that must happen before we ask something is to be known. So if we go to events and say something, comment, that person will know us. We know when we become common for someone, he knows us. Many times he has the impression that he knows us. When we go and knock the door, we say, I have seen that lady. I have seen that gentleman. Let me hear what he wants from me.
Awesome. Awesome. Amazing. Thank you so much, Lizette, for sharing. You've poured it out. I loved your presentation, how you've been able to put it together and using those pillars where we can build our reputation, work on our image, both perceived and internal and both external image, and also network. Those are really powerful frameworks that you have shared. Thank you, Lizette, for being part of the 2022 edition of the Personal Branding. So we'll definitely be networking and connecting with you very soon. very soon. We're going to bring you back on a special. This will be a special one, and I'll definitely connect with you. Thank you so much, Lizette. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys, you are still watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, and I still remain your host and convener, Emeka Ebeniro. You can call me Fire Emeka. And who am I? I am a personal branding and transformation specialist. Yes, that's what I do, and I help you build brand authority and help you move from passion to profit. So if you're someone that you're thinking of, how do I go about converting all this, my skill set, my expertise into cash, or this passion project, or this thing this passion that I have, how do I make money out of it? Definitely you should be connecting with me. And talking about connecting, we would like to thank everyone that has been part of this summit. To all our media partners and our sponsors, starting with Amos Wares. Thank you so much for making me look so amazing, beautiful, and African. We also like to thank AETech Solutions for giving us 10% discount on all their gadgets. You get all this information in the Telegram group. We also want to thank Connect Nigeria, Inside Business Africa, Value Media, Brand Level, and so many other partners, LB Digital, Empraise Media, and the list goes on and on and on. Not to forget that this summit is powered by KARAKURI, and I'll be sharing more about KARAKURI after we go on this short break. But before I go, I want you to put in the comments what you have learned so far. Like I always say, some things are taught and some things are caught. What have you caught so far? What can you say you've learned from what Lizette has shared? For me, I have understood the importance of networking, because the people, the C-suite individuals and professionals that I want to connect with are humans just like you and I, and every human has an interest. What interest do they have? And how can I get to know that interest and use that interest to connect with them? So guys, we're going on this short break. When we come back, guys, when we come back, yes, I'll be sharing a few things with you. Like, they call me fire, and I'll be bringing the fire. We'll be back after this short break.
You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand. Emeka Ebeniro. Emeka Ebeniro is a brand and business consultant, personal branding and transformation specialist. He is an activator, igniting the potential and gift in people so that they can do more and be more. He is a certified integrated marketing communication professional with over 13 years experience in brand management, corporate communication, and organizational strategy. Emeka has trained over 500 creators, coaches, and leaders across 5 continents, helping them build powerful, profitable brands for more impact, influence, and income. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Emeka Ebeniro. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
Yes, you are watching the Personal Branding Summit, and it's a privilege for me to be your host and convener of this amazing and epic summit. Like you heard in that biography or rendition, yes, my name is Emeka Ebeniro, and I've trained over 500 coaches, creators, and leaders across 5 continents. And one thing I've been able to help them with is increase their income, increase their influence, and increase their impact. And talking about impact, in this session, I'll be sharing with you how you can increase your influence and become a global brand. Now, you've noticed that in the course of this summit, we've had so many speakers speak about so many important things. I love the way that my godfather and big boss, Charles Otudo, spoke about your identity and understanding that there's a unique thing about you. I also love the way that Rene Q talked about image, creating your image, and that your image is your brand. And I also love about how Onye Ubanotu talked about authenticity and what's the true meaning of value. Like he put it, value recognizes value. People need to know what value you bring to the table, and most importantly, what does success mean to you. Now, we've heard from Lizete Mangueleze sharing with us all the way from Mozambique how we can network with C-suite professionals. And these people are humans just like you and I. She talked about the different pillars, ensuring that you connect with them with their point of interest, and most importantly, showing up. Now, from experience, I realized that a lot of people do not like showing up. And before Lizette joined us on stage, I was talking about why is it that people don't like showing up? From my own experience as a transformation specialist, I have realized that people spend a lot of hard-earned money, dollars, developing their skill set. So you see people take courses, write exams, do so many things to develop their skill set. And like Lizette said, use the internet. So people are learning how to create content, trying to understand the new hashtag, trying to follow the trend, use trending sounds to create content, and this and this. And they do so many amazing things. And some spend so much time in working on their mind and working on their emotion. And that is fine. Trust me, that is fine. But my question to you today is, after you've done all that, you've developed your skill set, you've bought a new phone or a new device, you're connecting to the internet, and you're trying to network with the global audience, my question to you today is, what do you want to be remembered for? Who are you? Why are you here? Why are you doing that business that you are doing? Why are you sharing this message that you're sharing with us? What makes you different? Because you realize that people spend so much time on technology and less on developing their story and their brand. So I give a typical example because that's what my own session is all about. I'm going to be sharing examples and being as practical as possible. If you notice the war between Android and iPhone, and I'll speak for us here in Nigeria. In Nigeria, there's this battle. There is this battle between Android users and iPhone users. And Android users always come up and they say things like, oh, come on, this new feature that your iPhone is releasing, we've been using it for the last 5 years. We've been using it for the last 3 years. My phone can do this, this, and this. It can go 10x zoom and 50x zoom. It can do this and do that and all that, which is fine and it's not a lie. But one thing I have learned for personal branding strategy is the difference between the iPhone and every other Android phone is not in the feature, is in the story, is in the identity. The iPhone and Apple spend a lot of time telling a unique story, while the Android focuses on features. Now, you agree with me that human beings don't focus about features. Human beings focus about what does this phone mean to me, meaning it connects with them from an emotional point of view. How does this phone connect with me? When I take a picture, am I just taking a picture or doing 10x zoom, or am I trying to recreate a memory? Am I trying to remember this precious moment with my loved one? Am I trying to tell a story? Am I trying to share with the world how I love and how passionate I am about my business, or show the behind the scene of my business? That is the difference. People realize that in this battle between the iPhone and the Android, the iPhone focuses on the things that truly matter, and that is human connection. The iPhone focuses on things that truly matter, that is storytelling. The iPhone focuses on things that truly matter, that is building and developing a brand. Because let me tell you one secret about developing a brand. You may make money, but you might not have a brand. I want to repeat that. You may be making money, but you might not have a brand. And what is the difference? The difference is one person is focused on transaction. The other person is focused on reputation and relationship. I repeat, one person is focused on transaction, while the other person is focused on reputation and relationship. I give you a typical example. At our company right here in KARAKURI, we are the conveners, we power this personal branding summit, and these are part of the things that we do. We focus on people, technology, and we also focus on innovation. So people, technology, and ideas. And one thing we've realized that in focusing on these three major areas is we are dealing with people, and we are key on reputation and developing the right brand. A few days ago, like if I remember correctly, we had a situation whereby we were supposed to service a client, and truth be told, we didn't do a very good job. A team member overlooked the timelines. A team member did not do the right thing. And it was left for us to either, because we had not collected money from that client, tell the client that, you know what, we are sorry, we couldn't deliver your order, it was mixed up, do not worry, we will do it some other time. Or we take responsibility. We take responsibility and we say, we find a solution around it. Now, the order came in during the course of the week, and for one reason or the other, we couldn't push that out. And that extended to the weekend. And like a lot of businesses, including ours, we don't work actively during the weekend, especially on Sunday. But I got the call as the CEO, as the head of the organization. I got the call from the client saying that we're expecting, my event starts at 11 a.m. and I'm expecting to get my bands, and I've not been able to get it. And I called my team, and only to realize that this band was not done. This order was not done. So what do? Do I call back the client to apologize and tell him or her that this is not going to be done? Or do I take responsibility? Now, what did we do? What I did was I called the client, apologized for not being able to deliver on the order, and telling the client that, you know what, if we can't get it printed, I'm willing to give you plain, and I'm going to give it to you for free. In addition, I would personally deliver it to your event center. I would do it myself. And I truly am sorry that my team and I were not able to deliver on this order based on the way you wanted it. And that is what I did. And why did I do that? I did that because at KARAKURI, we have what we call our brand pillars or our core values. And what I did, we call them stars. 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 And why am I sharing this? I'm sharing this because what do you want to be remembered for? We want it to be remembered as stars. And what does stars mean? The first S stands for service. At KARAKURI and Sit and Ticket and all our business arms, we believe that our sole purpose of business and why we exist is to serve. But as an African and as a Nigerian and as an Igbo boy, I realized that service sometimes can be misconstrued to being weak. Service sometimes can be misconstrued to be being beggarly. Service sometimes can be misconstrued to look at something that is not good. So when you genuinely want to serve your client or serve people around you, other people could look at you funny and like, oh, come on now, you're too big for that. But the truth is, every true brand must have a core value, something that they hold dearly. And this brings about the essence, the reason for being a brand. At KARAKURI, we are stars, and our first S is service. And that's what's shown in that scenario. No matter what, yes, it was a Sunday, yes, most of the team members were in church or at Jumat, at the mosques and all that. Yes, we understand that we don't work on Sunday, but because our first S in our core value is service, we had to serve that client. And not just serve the client by dodging that bullet, but serving the client by being true to what we truly believe in. And that is showing that we are here for you. And it's not about the money. So we're willing to lose money so that you don't lose your own client. We're willing to lose money so that we don't lose our own reputation and we stand for something truly important. So the first S is service. Now moving on, the T there is teamwork. Like, you know, teamwork makes the dream work. Now, that same particular Sunday, what happened was I made a few calls to other team members and telling them that we need to be at the office to get that thing done. And they did that. They left whatever they were doing. They dashed down from church, from wherever they were. They dashed down, straight down to the office to get it done. And it was handed over to me as the leader to deliver it based on my promise. Teamwork makes the dream work. As a team, as an individual, as an organization, how is teamwork important to your day-to-day operation? Are you partnering with your client? Are you partnering with your boss? Are you partnering with your customers to ensure that both of you move to the next level, to ensure that both of you grow? Is that what you are doing? Or is it a relationship whereby I collect your money, I throw my service at you, and I tell you to get out? I don't think that's the best way. Or are you in an organization and all you want to do is tick boxes because you feel that that is the best way to show that my to-do list has been filled up? So in other words, all I want to do is tell my boss, done. Am I just doing it, ticking boxes? Or am I ensuring that I do the right thing? Am I partnering with my boss to ensure that my organization is seen as the best, as excellent, so that we can connect with people globally? Like Jim Quick says, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Now you might think that, no, that's not the way I do everything, but truth be told, that's the way you do everything. If you're not willing to partner with your clients, if you're not willing to partner with your boss, if you're not willing to partner with your customers, trust me, that is truly the way you do everything. Now, moving on, the A in stars is ambition. And like you know, we are very ambitious. It takes ambition to put together Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. It takes ambition to put together our business unit and compete favorably with tops in the industry. It takes together ambition to connect top speakers across the continent of Africa. It takes together ambition to ensure that our customers and our clients get the best experience and their business grows. It takes together ambition to ensure that you are doing things at the best possible level. You are excellent in all that you do. That takes ambition. And ambition, like you know, is the mother of curiosity. The more curious you are, the greater your ambition grows. How ambitious are you? In your business, are you ambitious? Are the things that you do, are you ambitious? At that small coaching or training or in that organization, are you ambitious? Do you see yourself at the very top? Or do you see yourself as the person that will take that business, that organization to the next level? That is ambition. Ambition comes with its own challenges, but because you know that deep down inside of you, in your DNA, that I am ambitious, and I am ambitious, and I am going to get to the next level. No matter what is thrown at you, you know that you would move it through, you will push further against every barrier and obstacle. I say this to say that we have studied and we have looked closely at one of the 21 most influential brands in Nigeria in the year 2021. And one of them is Davido. And if you know the Davido story, you realize that a few years ago, Davido's career was nosediving. But what did he do? With the right team, with the good ambition, with the right motivation, the young man bounced back bigger and better. Today, look at him. Shutting down O2, collaborations with Puma, and the list goes on and on and on. That is ambition personified. I move quickly to R. R is resilient. As Africans, we are born resilient. It is a shame to us as Africans that we give up quickly when it comes to things that truly concern us. And one thing that I want to share with you that truly concerns you is your personal brand. Your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Will people call you resilient? Will people call you a fighter? Even when things are not working, when they know you will show up? Or will people say that, no, you can't rely on him or you can't rely on her? How resilient are you when it comes to your dreams? Remember, I started by saying, what do you want to be remembered for? Quickly, I go to the last S in stars, and that is speed. It is not enough for you to have ambition. It is not enough for you to have skill or have teamwork. You need speed. This is the era of speed. This is the era of globalization. And like the Godfather Charles Otudo, Africa's premier brand strategist and engagement consultant, says it, this is the era of glocal. That means you're operating locally, but you're influencing globally. So speed is very, very important. How fast are you in churning out things? How quickly can you get things done? Can we rely on you to get things done and get it in time, in the right time? Speed is very, very important. And why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because, like I said earlier, what do you want to be remembered for? In building a global brand, you need to know that people need to remember you for one thing. Yes, they can know you for several things, but you realize that when 3, 4, 5 people speak about you, they're speaking about 1 or 2 things that you have in common. And for me, I call that your promise. What is your promise? What do you promise us today and every other day that you would stand and be known for? So let's reverse engineer it. So I give an example. Are you a student? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a career person? What do you want to be known for? Trust me, what you want to be known for is your promise. So let me give an example. You're a stylist, you're a makeup artist, you're whatever it is that you do. The fact that you are excellent and you're consistent in delivering that level of service becomes your promise. That is what I'll remember you for. The fact that at your place of work, I know you as the person that always asks the important questions. Do you know that I can go to bed knowing that with you on board, we would always get to the root of the matter because you would always ask the important questions? Or are you that person that your strength and your promise is simplicity? Just like a brand, Apple, everything that they do and they're known for are two things: simplicity and innovation. So how does that relate to you? Do you simplify the processes in your organization? Do you simplify business? And like you know that experts simplify things. When people see you speaking or doing whatever you do, because you make it look simple, it simply means that you're an expert in that industry. So do you simplify the process? Do you simplify working with your colleagues? Is it easy to work with you? I can tell you for a fact that as a business owner, it's not easy to work with some clients. Neither is it easy when you employ some people. It's not easy to work with them. Now, this is so because, I don't know, for whatever reason, they believe that making things complex is the way to go. No. The same way hope is not a strategy is the same way complaining is not a strategy. And when you complain, you know what you do? You make things complex. So don't complain. Rather, look at the matter and go to the bottom of it and decide, you know what? My brand stands for simplicity. My brand stands for innovation. My brand stands for solution. I will get to the bottom of this matter. I would make it easy. I would make it simple. I would get to the bottom of this matter. I would ensure that people would be able to connect with me and they will be able to get the solution that they require. Now, in the core of your brand and what you want to be remembered for, are you that type of business owner that you always give the customer more than they bargain for, which is more value? So if someone comes to you and say they want A, do you give them A and explain to them the benefit of B, C, and D? Now, why are you doing that? You're simply doing that because you know that the journey of that customer doesn't end at A. It will eventually get to D. If you get them through that journey to D, do you know what happens? They will remember you as a solution provider. They will remember you as someone that's truly interested in their business growth. They will remember you as this gentleman or this business has a promise of ensuring that I have the best experience. That is what they remember you for. Now, when they remember you, when you start connecting with the global market, don't forget that you have this promise. Now, another thing you need to do in connecting with the global market, now that you know your promise and you know what you want to be remembered for, the question I want to ask you today is, how would we connect? What do you look like? So this is your promise in a container. What does he look like? The truth is, if I mention some brand names, something comes to mind. So let's play this game quickly. I want you to put it in the comment. I want to read the comment. I want you to put it in the comment. Now, when you say the word queen, what comes to mind? What's description? What do you see in your mind's eye? Close your eyes and imagine the word queen. So I'll be looking at my screen and I want to see the comments. So when I say the word queen, what comes to mind? Describe a queen to me. I want you to describe a queen to me. So what comes to mind when you say queen? Now that is one. When you say a black queen, an African queen. So first I say queen, then second I say an African queen. So describe a queen to me. Then describe an African queen to me. Okay, someone says Queen Elizabeth. When you hear the word queen, describe that. Now, an African queen, please describe an African. Oh, someone says, Cassandra says powerful. So when you hear the word queen, Cassandra says powerful. Awesome, I like that. Praise says royalty, Queen Elizabeth. I love that. Praise says royalty, Queen Elizabeth. I'm looking at my screen again. What else do we have here? So now let's go back. Now that is queen. Now, an African queen. Describe an African queen. Someone says royalty. Fantastic. An African queen. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do that quickly. An African queen. Now, we've described queen. We described an African queen. Now, let's describe an African queen from the northern part of Nigeria. Please help me out with that. An African queen from the northern part of Nigeria. What comes to mind? That is one. Two, an African queen from the southern part of Africa. Beauty, poise, gentleness. Okay, that's enough. One with a motherly heart. Fantastic. So let's go again. An African queen from the southern part of the southern part of Africa. An African queen. Beautiful. Amazing. Now, you see that when I go specific, it becomes vivid in your imagination. You know exactly how this person should look. Now, my question to you today is, do you know what you want to be remembered for, or your vision? Two, what does he look like? Now, global brands, luxurious away. And the beautiful thing about it is their audience have a language and they know exactly what it should look like. Imagine serving somebody the best possible spring water and the water looks black. Imagine that. I'm sure you're like, no. I've drunk water almost all my life and I've never seen black water. Because to me, water is not black. Do you agree with me? Water is not black. Now, the same thing applies to your brand. Your audience know exactly the way that they want to see you, because that is their vision or their perception of the solution that you carry. So in other words, the way you being a luxurious brand, or you being a mainstream brand, or you being a people brand, they have a perception of you. So my question to you today is, are you packaged, which is the other P, are you packaged in the way that your audience can recognize and connect with? If you're bold enough to tell me your answer, please put it in the comments. Are you packaged in a way that your audience can connect with you? Now, let me share this with you. I have been privileged to work in the entertainment industry, and that is why we have Bizzle. Bizzle will be joining us. I hope he has been able to sort out his emergency. He'll be joining us. I've been privileged to work with build brands in the entertainment industry. And one thing we do and have done is looking at the market. The market has a perception of every artist. The market has a perception of every artist, every comedian, every musician, everyone, that they have a perception of them. Now, it is the responsibility of the team to ensure that perception meets reality. I repeat, it is the responsibility of the team to ensure that perception meets reality. In other words, that the perception that the people have about this artist, the artist meets up to that perception. The same thing applies to you, your organization. The perception people have about you from coming in contact with your image, which is also your social media presence, seeing your complimentary card, watching your ads on social media, on the web, or searching you out on Google, should be the same when they get in contact with you. So what do artists do, or what do we do as people that create brands? We ensure that, one, this brand should be different from every other person in that same market. Yes, we might be singing in the same genre, but I do not want to look like you. I do not want to sound like you. I do not even want to have the same ad-libs and catchphrases like you. So my team and I would ensure that we craft out the right brand image that is unique to this particular artist, looking at the artist's values and uniqueness, just like what Lizette rightly shared. So I ask you that same question. What is it about you that is so unique, and what are you doing about it to differentiate yourself from every other person in your space? Trust me, you're not the only one trying to connect with that C-suite professional on LinkedIn. Neither are you the only one going for that networking event or attending those seminars or asking questions during the Zoom meetings. But my question to you today is, what would stand you out from every other person in that room? You need to think about it. Is your packaging in line with your content or in line with your product? And it's one of the biggest issues I have faced training people across different continents. I meet so many amazing, talented, gifted, knowledgeable people, but their packaging doesn't speak volume of the kind of gift and knowledge that they have inside. I meet so many people that do not, they have everything. They have the tools, they have this, but they do not invest in their brand. So I give a typical example. As little as having a professional profile or having a professional photo. You're a C2 professional. You spent almost 5 to 10 years in that industry. People within the industry know you, but people outside the industry do not know you. You don't have a profile or a CV that speaks and projects your uniqueness. Neither do you have strong, powerful imagery on your social media and even photos that speak volume about who you are and what you stand for. I can tell you for free, you are shortchanging yourself. Because when you eventually get that opportunity to connect with that amazing C2 professional, the next thing they will say is, can we have your profile? Can you send your photo? Can you send your media kit or whatever it is that you have so that we can get to know you a little bit more and then plug you into our system? Does your company have a brochure or a proposal? Do you have business cards? Do you have a tone of voice? What colors speak so much about you, and what do you represent? These things always come up in the course of connecting with the people you've always wanted to connect with. So what am I saying in a nutshell? As much as you invest in developing your skill set, you need to start investing in your brand, because your audience, which is the global audience, have a perception of you. This is the way they believe you should be. This is the way that they perceive you. So if this is the solution we are looking for, we believe that this solution is wrapped up in this particular type of packaging. So it's very important that, one, you know your promise, what you stand for. Two, you package that promise in a way that it speaks and connects with your audience. Three, ensure that your products connect with your audience and they solve their problem. And when I mean about solving problem, I'm not only talking about entrepreneurs. Even as a career person, you should be able to solve the problem of your organization or even your industry. And like Lizette rightly said, she talked about having a podcast and connecting with C-suite professionals on your podcast, which I totally agree, which is part of having a product. Finally, I will end with this. You need to position yourself for success. Position yourself for success. Ensure that you are seen in the right places. Ensure that you are positioned both virtually, which is a space like this. Are you commenting? Are you contributing? Are you sharing? Are you introducing yourself based on what you do and the solution that you offer? Ensure that you connect and you position yourself physically. Make sure that you are at the right place at the right time. Where's that gathering of the next people, the big shots in your industry? or an industry that you want to connect with. Are you there? Ensure that you connect mentally. Buy the book, join the seminars, grow yourself and your skill set. But above all, execute by investing in your brand and your uniqueness. These are the ways that you would build a global brand, a brand that is not shy from people, a brand that can connect with people, a brand that is known for something, a brand that is consistent in their messaging and in their promise, a brand that has a packaging that speaks volume about this promise and I am proud to connect with, a brand that has a product that truly meets me at the point of my need and would help me simplify what I am lacking clarity on or the challenges that I'm facing, and a brand that is positioned for me, a brand that is available, a brand that is accessible, and a brand that is affordable. And what I mean by affordable, I'm not saying that you should lower your pricing. I'm saying that ensure that your people are willing to pay for what you offer. So go back to the drawing board, ensure that you project your brand so that the people that you've always wanted to work with can pay for what you have to offer. Affordability means that whatever I have, I am willing to pay you for it. So if it's $10,000, I am willing to pay for it because I can see the value that you bring to the table. Just like Onyi Ubanotu said, value recognizes value. Be focused on the process and not the end product. So I leave you with these few words of mine. I hope you've learned one or two things from this summit and that you are truly ready to connect and get to the global scene. Be known for something and stick to it. Ensure that you have the right packaging. Ensure that you have the right product that connects with people, and ensure that you are positioned for success so that the people around you and across the world can have access to you. They know you're accessible. They know you're available. You can always get to you, and they know you're affordable, meaning that they are willing to pay you for what you're truly worth. I'm going on a short break, and when I come back, we'll be going deep or further into the summit. We'll be back after the short break. I still remain your host and convener, Emeka Ebeniro. I'm a personal branding and transformation specialist. We'll be back after the short break.
You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
And we are back, guys. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, yes, you're still watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. And I hope you didn't miss my session, guys. I hope you didn't miss it. If you did, not to worry, you can watch the replay. And I shared about strategies that you can use to build a global brand. Let me tell you this for free. Africa is rising, and African brands are becoming the talk after brands across the globe. People across the globe are getting inspiration from our clothing, our music, our lifestyle, even our parenting. Yes, they are. And they are using these things and infusing it and even selling it back to us. But guess what? Not to worry. With you developing your brand and positioning yourself in the global scene, we'll begin to get more authentic African stories. And I know and I believe that your story is truly authentic and you're truly African and you're proud. Now, need to say that we have people joining us across the world. Even if you're not African, we still want you to be authentic and we want you to connect with us in the motherland. So we have people connecting with us from the US, from the UK, from Mozambique, from Ghana, from so many parts of the world, from Nigeria, which is where we are hosting this conference from, and so many other parts, Australia, Saudi Arabia, so many other parts of the world. And we are truly grateful for spending your time with us. So I'll be saying one or two things before we move on to the next thing. And at this point, I think it is right that I thank some amazing individuals and businesses that have helped us put this amazing summit together. And without them, I'm sure we wouldn't have had this summit this smooth. So I would like to start by saying thank you to LB Digital for helping us with our backend and some other technical work. I'd like to say thank you to Connect Nigeria for helping us put out and publicize this conference. Also, Inside Business Africa, thank you so much for all that you do. We want to thank especially Value Media. Value Media and Transit Media is Nigeria's #1 transit network, and they run the BRT network, which are buses that ply all across Lagos. And currently they have over 600 plus buses, and these buses have screens in them. And every month they have a cumulative of over 16 million viewers. So imagine this, the Personal Branding Summit will be seen by 16 million viewers in Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you so much, Value Media, for all that you do. We also want to thank Brand Level thank you for the billboard and other exposures that you've given to the Personal Branding Summit. Not to forget, we also want to thank our technical partners, AE Tech Solutions, for giving us discount on all the devices that we've used for this summit, and also those that will be purchased after the summit by our audience. We also want to thank Empraise Media for everything that you do and ensuring that we have a smooth voiceover, smooth visuals, and every other thing. The list goes on and on and on. Trust me, guys, the list goes on and on and on. Once again, I want to thank Amos Wares for hooking me up with this amazing African outfit. I hope you like my outfit because I love it, and I know that you love it as well. We would like to thank other people, man. The list is endless. I'm going to do a special thank you to these individuals that have come together to do amazing. They came together to ensure that we had this summit and it was smooth. And I'm going to be calling their names. Oge Ikoro, thank you so much, Oge Ikoro. Omo Aramide Abuya, thank you so much. Ola Bukola Mishe, thank you so much. Sheyi Agbede, thank you so much. Adebike Adenuga, thank you so much. Edidiong Efyong, thank you so much. Benga Olotu, thank you. Joy Ebeniro, my beautiful wife, thank you for all your support and ensuring that this gentleman brings this dream and we're here today. Olumide Campbell and JT Oshoke, thank you so much. You guys have done amazing work. We'll be going on a short break. When we come back, I'll be sharing a few more things, giving you a few more announcements, and also sharing one or two strategies that you can apply right now. We'll be back after this short break.
You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand. You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
Hi, Personal Branding Summit PBS 2022 is here, and it's all about building a global brand and personal branding. My name is AY with the double O, and we're out on the streets of Lagos to find out from Nigerians what they think about personal branding and building a global brand. Stay with us and let's get right into it.
I would say a brand is, you can say a brand is a person, a product. A country can be a brand too. So a brand is basically something that is popular and worldwide accepted.
10 customers in 10 countries. But because I'm just getting the feedback from different people from all around the world. So, getting the ideas from other people that you have not really related with before.
The thing is that me having 10 customers in 10 countries, eventually I'll get more than the 1,000 customers I have in Nigeria, because that means it's global. Once the thing leaves short, then obviously it's already global. So
Okay, I prefer having a business in Nigeria and sell to other 10 countries in the world. That's because the locations also matters, and if I'm making money in South Africa, that means I'll be limited to, my finances will be limited to South Africa. But based on change on differences in currencies, I'll be able to make more. Selling from Nigeria and selling to other 10 countries, 10 notable countries in the world.
I would like to have 10,000 customers all over the world, because I have to move my markets externally. Why will I be a localized person? I have to move forward now. I can't just be here.
I would prefer to go global. That is, start in Nigeria and go worldwide. I think that is when you can say a brand is a brand. That's when you can say a brand is a brand.
You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
Obviously, now, which kind of question is that? The brand is the fact that the rice is jollof. It's not just rice. Like, the way you prepare it, you can't just put rice on fire and you get jollof. Yes, I would say it's a global brand. Yeah, because I believe the Igbo still enjoy jollof rice, while we Africans still enjoy jollof rice. So I believe it's a global brand.
Being a global brand is being accepted worldwide. Like Cristiano Ronaldo is known worldwide. He's a brand on his own. He has recently had 400 million followers on social media. So he's a brand.
I would say a global brand is basically an identity that sells to everyone, everywhere in the world, that goes around the globe. There are no restrictions and no limitations. They are well accepted in every part of the world.
There you have it. We've heard from people on the streets. It's time to get back to the studio where we have our speakers enlightening us on personal branding.
You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
What does it feel to have a comfortable space? Come, I'll show you.
You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.
And we are back. Yes, welcome back from that break. If you're just joining us, oh, come on. You've missed quite a lot. Okay, but not to worry, you can watch the replay, and you also need to join the Telegram group, because in the Telegram group, that is where you get all the info, the updates, the freebies, the discounts, and every other thing. You get that in the Telegram group. And talking about freebies and discounts, we're having a personal branding masterclass where you will learn the practical steps. Now, you heard so much. You heard me speak. You've heard Lizette speak. You've heard all the other amazing speakers speak. Now, the question I'm sure you're asking is, Emeka, how do we put all this together? Where do I start from? How do I differentiate myself? What do I do next? That and much more you will learn at the masterclass. You are in the Telegram group, click the link and join the wait list, and there you will learn a lot. So now let me talking about a lot and what you will learn. Now let me give an example. Now one thing we all need to realize is personal branding is simply differentiation. And like you know, our brain is wired to see things differently. Yes, our brain picks patterns, but when there's a disruption in that regular pattern, the brain recognizes it. So I give an example. Like, you know, if you tell someone, don't think about blue, don't think about blue, don't think about blue, what happens? The person begins to think about blue. Or you tell someone, don't look at that blue color, don't look at that blue shirt, don't look at that blue shirt. The mind looks at the blue shirt. Now, what does that mean? It means that in branding, what the mind focuses on is what it sees as familiar. I give an example. It is easier for you to recognize a lady wearing, or a gentleman like myself putting on blue frames, a blue outfit that walks into the room, or than a gentleman that wears every other color and walks into the room. Why? You would realize that your mind will be able to picture something, which is focus on why is it that this guy wears blue all the time, or why is it that this lady wears purple all the time. We've been in a conference, a physical conference, and I realized that day one of this conference, this lady has this monochrome look. Her glasses, her outfit were all to match, and she was looking really beautiful and elegant. And day two, the same thing. Do you know what happens? It's easier for you to remember her. Even if you don't know her name, what happens is you begin to call her or describe her to your friends. Do you remember that lady that wore the purple lady? That's what you will call her, the purple lady. Now, what has she been able to do? She has been able to grab your attention. Secondly, she has been able to differentiate herself from every other person in that room. That is what you do with your personal brand. So at this point, I'll be taking questions. If you have any question you would like to ask, please put that in the comments. I'll be taking questions so that I can show you one or two tricks that you can start applying right now to differentiate yourself and amplify your personal brand. And not to forget, you need to join the waiting list where you will get the coaching and the mentoring so that this year, 2022, you would grow your personal brand. Like we all know, people buy from people, and people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So how do you want people to know you, like you, and trust you? Is simply through your personal brand. So I'll be taking questions. If you have any question, please put it in the comments, and I'll be sharing one or two hacks with you before we go into the next item on the program. So like I said earlier, talking about colors, I've realized that colors speak volumes, and a lot of people don't understand that using color is simply telling your story. You're trying to tell people there's a part of me or the part of my organization that we are either passionate, fiery, nurturing, gentle. There's a story we want to tell, and we're telling this story using our colors. You also want to differentiate yourself or stand out from the crowd by being consistent in using a particular color. Or it could be that you have a word or a phrase that you use all the time. And like Charles Otudo rightly said, you could go deeper into using sensory branding, which is looking at the gates, the eye gates, the ear gates, the nose, and the taste. Your tongue, you can say, okay, fine. I want whenever people taste my meal, it must taste this particular way every time. That becomes the brand. So I give you this personal thing. My wife and I always like to buy, sometimes when we go out, we have particular vendors or places where we buy some particular items. It's either it's chicken or it's whatever it is, and with pepper soup. And for us here in Nigeria, there's something we call isiewu and nkwobi and all that. Those are made with goat meat and cow meat and all that. So these delicacies are local delicacies right here in Nigeria. And my wife and I, because of some particular stores, have built their sensory branding, meaning that every time we buy from them, their taste is consistent. Because of that reason alone, we find ourselves going back to the same set of vendors or the same set of stores where we buy these items that we like. Now that is part of branding. Or it could be the smell. Each time I walk into your room or into your restaurant, there's this particular, or even your office, there's this particular smell. Or each time I'm around you, you always smell so nice. That is one way you can differentiate yourself and brand yourself in this industry. There's so many other ways that you can use to differentiate yourself and brand yourself and ensure that your brand stands out from the audience. Trust me, there's so many people out there competing for that same space. So what you need to do is ensure that you are mindful and deliberate about every action that you take. And then you start deploying these strategies. I think we have a question. How can I build a global brand without necessarily being in the face? Oh, amazing. Now, Lizette mentioned it. You can build a global brand like on a platform like LinkedIn. You don't necessarily need to create content where you do video content. By sharing your thoughts, which that leads to thought leadership, by sharing your thoughts and your viewpoint about certain areas, people begin to look at you and say, you know what, this person is knowledgeable in this area, and they begin to network and connect with you. So you don't have to show your face. You can write articles, you can just update your status, and your status could speak about several issues within your industry. It is good for you to be industry specific so that we see you as the expert in this subject matter and not just random thoughts. Because when you share random thought, people really don't know how to place you and find out or know how you can be of use or benefit to them. So try as much as possible to share your thoughts in that particular area of your strength. That way you will stand out from the crowd. Do we have any other questions? How can you continually tell stories that connect without derailing? Yes. And I think this we fall victim when we are multi-potentialite. We have multiple passions, multiple talents, and we want to do so many other things. I agree. But one thing we need to realize that your brand is what people say about you, and people connect with you through your core values. And like I said earlier, for us at KARAKURI, we are stars, and our core values stars stand for, which is our core values: service, teamwork, ambition, resilience, and speed. Now, the same thing applies to you. Yes, you have multiple talent and multiple potential, but what is that thing at the center of everything that you do? Is it resilience? Is it passion? Is it tenacity? Is it excitement? Is it excellence in your delivery? So even if you're showing us several expressions of yourself, can we see that excellence? Can we see those core values across all your different expressions? But I will say this, as much as you want to share different expressions, I don't think you should share your different expressions at the same time. You could start by sharing one expression, and as you are sharing one, you use that opportunity to introduce your next expression, and you keep doing that until you've exhausted or you've expressed all that is it within you. But remember that, what do you want to be remembered for? That is very, very important. What do you want to be remembered for? If you want people to remember you as the go-to person for this particular solution, I would advise that you spend more time sharing that solution or sharing your journey in that particular area, and less time sharing other areas. So if we're going to use the Pareto's principle, which is 80-20, so 80% of the time you are sharing your What is that area that you want people to remember you for? And 20% of the time, you're sharing other areas. I hope that has been helpful. Okay, do we have any other question before we go into the other item of the day? Yes. Do we have, let me look at my monitor right here. Okay, I believe we don't have any questions. So like I said earlier, ensure that you join the Telegram group so that you can be part of the Personal Branding Masterclass. Yes, this is for everybody. If you are a professional, if you're an entrepreneur, even if you're a student, but you want to stand out right now, you want to be able to connect with people that would open the door for you and take you to your next level, or you want to be able to express yourself and connect with your customers and ensure that, okay, yes, I love the brand of my coach or my consultant, and this is the person that I want to work with. Every decision we make every day of our life is based on the brand, the perception of the brands that we connect with. It's not necessarily based on the benefit or what they have to offer, but our perception of their value. And like I said earlier, I started by sharing the Android and iPhone war, or the Android and iPhone battle that we usually face. You will realize that, truth be told, the Android phones or Android users have more functionality with their device, but the Apple users have a better connection with their device. So the Apple brand is stronger than the Android brand. So my question to you today is, what do you want to be remembered for? Do you want to build a brand that will connect with people, that even so, where other people say that this person doesn't have this to offer, people are like, no, it's not about what he or she has to offer. It's the fact that they have enough solution just for me, and I love the way they make me feel. Remember, it's all about feeling. You must make your customer, your client, your boss, and people around you feel better. So once again, I want to thank each and every one of you for your time, for connecting with us on the Personal Branding Summit, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. And before I go, I would like to thank my amazing team. Yes, this wouldn't have been possible without this team, these people. They've stood working behind the scenes, ensuring that everything runs smoothly and we have a smooth and amazing event. I'll start by thanking my very, very, very reliable man and right-hand man, Mr. Ayodeji Daniel. Thank you so much. I also want to thank Lilian Wachuku, aka Lily Uche. Thank you so much. I want to thank Dumebi Agu. Dumebi, thank you. Princess Dumebi, thank you. Blessing Jaja, thank you so much for all that you do and putting your hand and ensuring that this year's summit was successful and smooth. We also want to thank Joseph Dyer. Yes, Joseph Dyer, a member of the team, doing great stuff and helping us with the visuals and the graphics. We also want to thank Lekon Banjo, ensuring that all the technical aspects of this virtual summit have worked and is working smoothly. We also want to thank Ayo Wumi. We want to thank you, Ayomi Ayola. Yes, we want to thank you so much for everything that you do and ensuring that this conference runs smoothly. We also want to thank Naomi Eton Stephen. Thank you so much, Naomi Stevens. Thank you for being part of this summit and ensuring that this summit runs smoothly and everything that we need, we got it done on time. And like I said, speed. Am I missing any other person's name? Yes, we also want to thank Osita Santos. Yes. My man, Osita Santos. Thank you so much, Osita Santos. And finally, I want to thank somebody that is behind the scenes, pressing the right buttons, ensuring everything works very well. My sister, my tribe member, words can't describe this person. She has done an amazing job. Oge Ikoro. Oge, thank you so much for pressing the right buttons and doing all the right things. Thank you, guys. I want to thank each and every one of you for being part of the 2022 edition of the Personal Branding Summit. Before I go, I also want to thank my mentor, my father and coach, Fela Duro Toye, and the Gemstone team. for being part of this summit and ensuring that everything runs smoothly, and they supported us every way that they could. Thank you, guys. I salute you once, twice, and a million times. Don't forget, join the Telegram group. We have free ebooks, free resources, and so much more. And also, you'd also have to be part of the waitlist for the Personal Branding Masterclass, because that is where you will learn practical steps, practical strategies that you can start applying today. The strategies for you if you want to learn to move up the corporate ladder. There are ways you can use your personal brand to do that. Shh, don't tell anyone. So when you join the Telegram group and you join the masterclass waitlist, you will learn that will be sharing at the masterclass. So guys, thank you so much. I thank you. I salute you for your time. God bless you once, twice, and a million times. I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.
You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand. You are watching the Personal Branding Summit 2022, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Personal Branding Summit 2022, building a global brand.